So NIO Day just happened, and in this video I'll be recapping everything that was said and launched on NIO Day from start to finish, so you guys have the full picture of what happened. But before we get started, sign up for the NIO app. Use my invite code LEGPC7. You get 200 bonus NIO points just by signing up and entering my code. And if you do decide to buy a NIO, you get extra bonus NIO points. And even if you don't have any plans to buy NIO right away, you can collect daily sign up bonuses and rack up your NIO points. And if you live in China, this is my China NIO invite code. Enough talking, let's dive into NIO Day. So NIO Day first started off with a nice musical performance and then a very nice short movie about the recent university EV race that NIO sponsored, and students had to build EVs from scratch and compete amongst other universities in this competition. It was a very dramatic and eye-dropping event. And then the CEO took stage. He talked about some of the recent achievements, and then they announced freshly that they were going to dedicate 50 million RMB to sponsor climate awareness, which is NIO Climate Action. They talked about how there's over 61,000 user events that has happened so far, 15 billion kilometers total traveled by all NIO owners combined. And then he talked about the chargeable, swappable, upgradable whole entire system with a big emphasis on charging, and launched a couple of new charging products. So first of all, the public chargers. So far there's 20,955 public chargers for NIO, and he has stated, reaffirmed that NIO has the most public chargers for an auto company across 307 cities all across China. Also, the brand with the most expansive charging network stretching from all corners of the country. They have 1,263 chargers on the highway, charging stations on the highway. Most highway charging stations, 80% of the usage is for non-NIO cars. And then he talked about Power Journey, which allows you to go to remote scenic places with chargers placed along the way, so that if you can go there with a gas car, you can also go there with an EV. And then he talked about how a very proud achievement was that they opened the Silk Road all the way to the far west of China with NIO chargers along the way, with 100 charging routes like this coming next year. Now they launched the 640 kilowatt liquid power charger 4.0 with 765 amps, 1000 volts, and only 2.4 kg weight for the cable, and deployment in April 2024. There was a big emphasis on charging for all EV users, and NIO has reaffirmed that NIO swapping is good, but don't forget NIO is #1 in terms of chargers for a auto brand. Now he talked about swap stations, and that they recently achieved their goal of 1,000 swap stations deployed this year in 2023, and they have a total of 2,309 swap stations. 80.4% of NIO owners have a swap station within 3 kilometers of where they live, and in Xiamen, that stat is 100%. So far, there are 745 highway swap stations with an average distance between them of 150 kilometers. A lot of people swapped all the way for NIO Day at Xi'an, and it lets users not have range anxiety when traveling. There's also faster parking coming for swapping stations, no electricity cutoff, all coming very soon. So swapping is the best experience for replenishing power. Average of 70k swaps per day, one swap every 1.2 seconds, and there has been over 16,000 battery upgrades with flexibility upgrade. And he talked about how before, back in 2021, the customers buying 75 kilowatt hour battery pack and 100 kilowatt hour battery pack was about 50-50. But now the ratio has shifted to 95 to 5. 95% of people choosing the standard range battery pack. And this really helps customers save money and also helps the environment save on resources. Now, he said that he recently tested the 150 kilowatt hour battery pack, and even a 6-year-old ES8 can upgrade to that battery pack. Now, unfortunately, he did not launch this battery pack today, which we were hoping that they would do. But keep on going. Next, they launched Swap Station 4.0 that has 23 batteries inside. Time to swap is decreased by further 22%. It has 6 LiDARs and 4 Orin X chips. It has a 60-meter squared solar roof, which can save up to 18,000 kilowatt hours of power per year, which is amazing. In 2024, they will build 1,000 more swap stations and get to around 3,000 swap stations, build 20,000 more chargers to get to around 41,000 chargers. And then they launched the ET9 Launch, which looks amazing. It's like a GT car. It's like my EC6, but just way better, of course, obviously. It's a luxury flagship, and he talked about how it has to be brave. It has a land jet design, 5.3 meter long, 2.016 meters wide, 1.32 meters high, 3.25 meters wheelbase with flagship space, 23-inch wheels, 200 millimeters of ground clearance with excellent field of vision, can quickly adjust 50 millimeters of height change in 1 second. In 1 second, so that's amazing. Pure and progressive design, double dash sophisticated lights, has an electronic spoiler just like the EC6 or the EC7. Very nice. Every passenger has their own personal space, and born as a 4-seater, there has an executive bridge in the middle with lots of cool stuff, such as a foldable table that can be used on both sides. There's a massive tablet in the middle, very cool. And then there's a 10-liter massive fridge that can go from -2 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius. First class seats with screens. Very interesting. 2 screens. 7 electric sunshades. It has NIO Link executive screens, adaptive viewing angles of the 14.5-inch OLED display, and Sky Island dedicated glass roof with lighting on top. And we can also tell that the front screen is also horizontal, which is very nice. It's basically your own little suite. ET9's design reflects their high design requirements, and executive flagship is also a technology leader. NIO's ET9 is the epitome of NIO full stack architecture. They have a lot of things that they revolutionized and they're placing here. For example, NIO's self-developed AD chip 9031. So they are not using NVIDIA anymore. NIO's AD chip is 4 times the performance of the predecessor. NIO's first chip will be 5 nanometer chip, with 50 billion transistors, 32 cores. Very amazing. Less than 5 millisecond processing speed, 75% faster than industry standard. Capable of 6.5 billion image processing per second, which is 4.5 times faster than BEV, 6.5 times faster than Transformers, 4 times faster than other industry standard LiDAR chips. So this is comparing to the industry standard, all right? So Sky OS is going to be the new operating system, self-developed. Next, he talked about the 900-volt high voltage architecture. There are 3 world's first 925-volt peak voltage, world's first, 600 kilowatt charging speed, world first, 765 amps charging current, world first. So this is the highest in the world. All self-developed proprietary 1200 volt SiC power module. They have brand new motors, 925 volt W-pin motors, oil cooled for 30% increased performance. 340 kilowatt permanent magnet motors weigh only 79 kilograms, and this is used in the back, and the front uses a 180 kilowatt induction motor. ET9 will use NIO's self-developed 46105 batteries, achieving energy density of 292 watt hours per kilogram with 5C max charge rate, S-shaped cooling tube, and 84% best height utilization. It will come with a 120 kilowatt hour pack, which is very interesting. That means there's 4 battery pack sizes that are going to be in NIO's ecosystem. Supports 5C charging, 255 kilometers in 5 minutes. Only NIO has this ultimate charge swap experience. You can swap, it gets you done in 3.5 minutes, or you can charge super fast. Next, they talked about the pinnacle of chassis technology. Skyride is what NIO launched. NIO's intelligent chassis system inspired by airplanes, drive-by-wire chassis, full active suspension, rear-wheel steering, active full suspension, wide range of steering ratio from 6:1 all the way up to 14:1 ratio, 153 millimeter long travel steering column, 8.3 degrees max rear steering, 10.9 meter max turning diameter. World's first integrated hydraulic full active suspension, generations ahead of the competitors. Full active clear motion actuator, controller processing in 1 millisecond, 60 times faster than air suspension. And this is the groundbreaking stuff. There's also energy regen from suspension. So if you go over bumpy roads, you're going to get some power back from that, which is insane. Insane suspension. And I guess you should just look at the clip. They've done testing over these corrugated surfaces with 4 layers of champagne glass, and it's just really smooth. This is just their next level suspension. All right, it's hydraulic full active suspension. And then this is also the most intelligent and comfortable suspension. Next, he talked about safety first. This is a big emphasis of NIO. Always safety is prioritized. The first thing they mentioned is 52,600 Newton meters per degree of torsional stiffness, steel aluminum frame hybrid body with 2000 MPa industry reinforced panels with flagship airbags, even some weird oddly shaped airbags that are supposed to help you even if you have like different passenger heights. Class leading air curtains. They launched Aquila 2.0 smart sensing units with 3 LiDARs, 350-degree LiDAR perception, high-resolution 4D imaging radar. It can basically have 400,000 meters squared of sensing area, which improves safety. High definition projection lights for safety, precise light, micro LED, bright white for far precision, adaptive light carpet. How does this technology make the car safer? Well, smart EVs allow for adequate safety redundancy, 7 times safety redundancies, dual motor 50 times more reliable than single motor, 513 times more reliability. In terms of steering, there's 2.2 times more reliable. Sensing units, all for redundancy, has 280 chips for computing redundancy. Communication, there's 30 times improvement. Power distribution, 50 times improvement. More than 525 patents for the ET9. There will be more communication about this car later on. Deliveries will start in Q1 of 2025. Pre-orders start today. The starting price is around 800k RMB. NIO's customers can place the 5,000 deposit for 10,000 RMB and get 100 hours of high-end chauffeur service. Amazing. And then they had some couple musical performances, and that wraps up NIO Day.